Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate, coming at you with another list video. This video was in response to Matt Porter, who runs ADHD Whiskey. He challenged other YouTube whiskey tube channels to do a list based off of his video of you can only keep 5 whiskeys. Now, contrary to the other lists that I've done recently, I did keep this to 5. It was difficult, but the mindset is if you could just only keep 5 whiskeys, what are you keeping? And obviously from your own collection. So I kept it to 5. There are 3 bourbons, a rye, and a scotch. So again, whiskey, I went broad instead of specifically bourbon. So we'll start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be E.H. Taylor Small Batch. The reason I'm going with E.H. Taylor Small Batch is I wanted to pick something from Buffalo Trace. If you watched my You Only Need 5 Bourbons and other videos that I've done, I mentioned that Buffalo Trace, just a standard 90 proofer, is my go-to daily sipper. It's my favorite bourbon. But if we're talking about you're only keeping 5 whiskeys, I wanted to step that up. This is going to be the same mash bill. It's mash bill 1, bottom bond, so about, it's 5% more alcohol, 10 proof points. It's a really good. I was thinking about doing E.H. Taylor single barrel, but again, single barrel, there can be variation, and if you're only keeping 5 whiskeys, I want something a little bit more consistent. So I went with E.H. Taylor Small Batch as my first up. Second up, we're going to throw a bone to Matt Porter, and I'm actually going to. My recommendation is a Knob Creek single barrel, but I'm being specific, and if I could only keep 5, one of them is going to be Matt Porter's Knob Creek pick. Love this pick. I'm milking it because it's really good. Wish I'd bought 2 bottles. However, he is coming out with another one, which as I release this video I believe my video will come out before the pick comes out, but not much before. So you have time to be part of Matt's Patreon, and you can get access to that pick. So Knob Creek single barrel, specifically for me, I'm keeping a bottle of Matt Porter's Knob Creek. Number 3 is going to be Maker's Mark 46 cask strength. I decided I was going to do 3 bourbons, and I decided I was going to do one as a weeder. I love Maker's 46, and 46 cask strength is just insane. It is nice, and there's the softness of a weeder, but it's also spicy and rich and just full bodied because it's cask strength. That's just so. I just love Maker's 46 cask strength a lot. It says it's limited edition. I don't know how true that is, because actually I need to replace this bottle. If it is going to be a limited edition, I need to replace it. But these are the 3 bourbons that I would keep: E.H. Taylor Small Batch, Matt Porter's Knob Creek Single Barrel, and Maker's Mark 46 cask strength. Now for my rye, I went with Willett Family Reserve cask strength rye. This is a 4-year-old cask strength rye. Just a really solid rye. If I had to do a runner-up, it would be Michter's the single barrel US 1. But we got a cask strength rye here. Just a really solid rye. And so that's my American whiskeys in this list. You got 3 bourbons, you got a rye. For a scotch, I'm going with my favorite scotch, and this is going to be Ardbeg Uigeadail. If I had to stick with the scotch, I'm going to go with an Islay. Now, of these 5, I'm not always going to go to this one, but if I want a scotch, if I'm in the mood for scotch, I'm probably going to go with an Islay. So this is meaty, and it is just such a good Islay. It's such a good whiskey. It's my favorite whiskey in the world. So these are the 5 whiskeys. If I was moving like Matt is from Colorado to Kentucky, or maybe he moves next door to me, that would be fantastic. He's not, I'm kidding, but that would be great. If you're moving, you can only keep 5 whiskeys. These are those 5 whiskeys. E.H. Taylor Small Batch, Knob Creek Single Barrel, specifically Knob Creek, Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, Willett Family Reserve cask strength rye, the 4-year-old, and Ardbeg Uigeadail. That's been Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. If you also have a channel, Matt Porter has challenged you to do this as well. So give it a shot. I look forward to watching your video. To everybody, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.